Welcome to the Manager Matt podcast show. The show is designed to give you solutions to your day-to-day management and leadership problems. It's hosted by Matthew Haddock, a frontline manager and leader with over 25 years of experience. If you're ready, then let's get on with the show.
Hi and welcome to the Manager Matt podcast show. Hope you're all keeping safe, and I also hope you are managing yourself and your people to get the best results needed. Hope you're ready to learn and grow as a leader, and please don't forget to drop me a line on whatever you have listened to so far and would like to give me some feedback on the show. It's always welcome. You can get me at managermattpodcasts@gmail.com. So without any more delay, let's get on with this week's show. So, welcome to this week's show. And what's it all about? Well, it's about the word sorry. I was wrong. No, it's not another song. It's not going to be me bursting into song around sorry is all that you can say. No, it's not that. But over the last 25 years of managing people, I can honestly say that I have never made a single mistake. I've never got a thing wrong. I plan my approach using my knowledge and strengths. Then I action my projects without failure, ending up with the results I need every time. It's got to be true, hasn't it? Because I've been so successful over the years, right? Obviously not. Naturally, I have tried, failed, tried again, failed, tried again, and been moderately successful. And, of course, in cases that I've spoken to in the past, we've talked about the fact that it's okay to get things wrong. But what does that really look like in a workplace and as a leader? Because I think that's the big thing I want to talk about today. There is a real dichotomy as a leader. You have to be at the front and in charge, but you also have to work collaborative with your team to get results. You have to know a wide range of subjects, but you might not necessarily be an expert in them. Some managers sometimes feel they can't say that they're wrong. They might think it looks weak, whatever weak looks like. They might feel it undermines their authority, or your team might not respect you. It's natural for those things to go through your head. From a young age, you're conditioned to not get things wrong. Every test at school, even when you've done really, really well, will focus on what you got wrong, not necessarily the numbers you got right. When you're playing a sport, it's a result, and not learning from what happened in that game. It's all about what the score was in the end. So naturally, the inner voice is saying, don't say you're wrong. You'll look a right plank if you admit you don't know what you're doing. It's sometimes hard when you lead from the front to put your hand up and say, I was wrong. But yes, you're human. You will get things wrong. We learn best when we admit that we are wrong. Because how can we always be perfectly right? We can't, can we? And sometimes we need to ask for that support from others. You have to be vulnerable with people in your team so they know that they can be vulnerable back and ask for help. Another example of this happened to me a couple of years back when I was leading a project team. It was a hard period of the business. We were under the cosh, and I wanted to show the senior people that I had it covered. So I got the team together, told them my perfect plan, from my worldview obviously, and asked them to get on with it so that we could deliver the results. I sat back in my chair after that meeting and thought, happy days, done and dusted. My team know exactly where they're going, they can crack on with it. It came down a couple of days later, and my boss wanted to see me in his office. So off I went, happy as Larry, whoever Larry is, to discuss exactly what had happened. He had some interesting points to make. He said that when he'd been walking around the site, he'd been meeting a couple of my directs, and they'd made some very interesting conversations around me and the way that they felt. They'd felt that their views had not been taken into account, that their inputs had been completely ignored. They felt the plan that I was putting forward was not right, but they didn't know what to say. As I had been so focused and energised on the plan when we'd done the meeting that they didn't feel that they could interrupt or even put their views forward. Now, to be fair to my boss, he was a good man. And he wanted me to be successful. So what he did was really, really good. He sort of said to me, look, Matt, you've got a chance here. They've come to me and they know that I'm a good person, and they know I will talk to you in the right way. And they know that you're here and wanting to drive results. So what you need to be doing is going and getting involved and pulling them together and talking them through this, because I'm sure you didn't mean it that way. And obviously I didn't. So I took the feedback on board from my boss, and I pulled the team together the next day. And I said the words which have helped me ever since. I said, I'm sorry, team. I got this wrong. I told them where I was coming from, but needed their buy-in. I needed their commitment to make it work. So, after another 2 hours of really, really good workshops of working through what I had in my plan and what they'd done, they came up with a much, much better plan, which I learnt from. The team also knew I could be approached and asked about the direction that I was taking them in. It's so easy to look as a manager and think that you have it all sorted, but we really don't. We have the drive and the energy and the ideas and the knowledge, I'm sure, but we need a team around us to make the exciting plan come to life fully. So, as a manager, make sure you have in your arsenal those 3 little words. I am sorry. I got it wrong. That toolbox needs to be ready, because you will need it to be successful. And if you can't muster yourself to say them words, then think about it. If you were on the other side of the table and your manager said, I'm sorry, got this wrong, I need your help, how would that make you feel? I'm sure it would energise you to help that guy or girl to really get the results, because that person had opened up and been genuine to you. Well, thanks for listening. And as always, I'm really keen to hear your thoughts on the show, both good and bad. So please send me your feedback, as it is a gift. And send it to managermattpodcast@gmail.com. I answer all the questions and emails myself, and would love to engage on new topics or revisit old. Right, that's it for Manager Matt this week. Thanks for listening, and goodbye.
Thank you so much for listening to this Manager Matt podcast. We hope you found it interesting, helpful and actionable. One last thing, please leave a quick review on iTunes or with your podcast provider, as it helps to spread the word of Manager Matt. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the podcast, and if you did like anything in particular, send an email to managermattpodcast@gmail.com or visit managermatt.co.uk for more content. Feedback is a gift, so let's keep giving. See you next week.